Now already we have discussed all the topic of unit number 1, 2 and 3. Now the next unit is unit number 4. Unit number 4 is representing knowledge using rules. So I hope you have clear what is knowledge and rules and fact and all. Now we have to represent our knowledge using rules. So what is knowledge and why we require represent knowledge? Anyone can give me the answer? Why we require knowledge representation? You can write your answer in chat box also. Why require knowledge representation?
For basic understanding of the structure of solutions or question or the task.
Okay, right.
Very good structure thing.
Yes, anyone other? Why require knowledge representation? We have to, in definition, we see we have to build a machine that is intelligent, so they can capable of take decision without helping of human, right? But without knowledge, they can't take decision. So we require the knowledge representation or create a database in our system, so they can take decision based on that knowledge and process that knowledge. So the process of knowledge is called reasoning, right? And we have to represent our rules and all this called as a knowledge representation. So we already studied the different methods for knowledge representation. Now we in this unit we see that how we can represent our knowledge using rules. Okay, now start with the first topic, that is procedure versus declarative knowledge. So what is procedure and declarative knowledge? So first start with the declarative knowledge. So declarative knowledge refers to fact or information stored in a memory that is considered static in nature. So declarative knowledge often referred to as a conceptual, propositional or descriptive knowledge. Describes things, events or processes, their attributes and their relation to each other. For example, we can say that the declarative knowledge is a real fact or the real data regarding your problem. So for example, we can say that sun rises in the east. So this is the truth and this is the fact. So we can represent this truth in our database. So he is called declarative knowledge. So there is no other data is required to represent. So this is the static data and this is the truth related your data or your problem. So declarative knowledge, also known as a descriptive knowledge, is the type of knowledge which tells the basic about the something and it is more popular than procedure knowledge. Okay, because why it is popular than procedure knowledge? Because suppose we have to solve a problem, so before solving any problem, so we have required some basic knowledge, right? Suppose you have given one task to find the optimal solution or the optimal path to reach PP Samani College to Surat. So you have basic knowledge regarding distance and cost required and all. So this is the declarative knowledge is based on this type. So that requires some basic information or the truth regarding your problem. So example is sun rises in the east. Now you next type we will study the different examples so you have more clear. So one by one we start. Now I give the overview of what is procedure knowledge. So procedure knowledge in artificial intelligence, procedure knowledge is one type of knowledge that can be processed by an intelligent agent. Means you have given a knowledge in a system. Now you have to solve your problem or require some action without help of human. Now what is procedure knowledge? A well-known example is the procedure reasoning system, which might in the case of mobile robot. that navigate in a building contain procedures such as the navigation to room. Means you have built a knowledge in a system, now require you have to suggest some path. For example, one of the application that is navigate to a room, so that require the action to follow to solve your problem. So procedure knowledge, also known as the interpretive knowledge, is the type of knowledge in which it clarifies how particular things can be accomplished. Means आपका solution how you can obtain. So this is the process related to solve your problem is called procedure knowledge. It is not a popular because it is generally not used. Okay. Now I give one example for procedure knowledge. So you have to solve a procedure problem using procedure knowledge. So three things is important. So first of all, you know how to perform, how to operate, and how to use procedure. And for example, I give one so how to make coffee. So you have given one task to make a coffee, so you have required some ingredients and some mug and vessel, right? So this is a procedure, one by one you have to follow. At last you have to cook a coffee. So the procedure knowledge is related to perform, how to operate, and how to use procedure. Okay. All the user have different procedure to make a coffee. So the procedure knowledge is is not more popular as compared with declarative knowledge, because declarative knowledge is common in all, because that is related with some truth or fact, some require ingredients and all. This is basic or common for all the user, but procedure is vary with the different user. Okay. Now we see also one example. So you one by one you clear this concept. Now I given one example how I have to find the employee text. Okay. So which are the data is declarative knowledge and which are the task is the procedure knowledge. Suppose one given task, find the employee text. Now the given data is employee ID, employee age, and employee salary. Right? Now I have to find the text. So the declarative knowledge is the given fact or the truth of your problem. So here the data is given, right? So this is the declarative knowledge. And what is procedure knowledge? I have to find a tax to pay an employee. So this required a process to calculate a tax, right? So this is the procedure knowledge. Okay. Now I hope you have clear what is declarative and what is procedure knowledge. Clear? Anyone have doubt? Then ask me. So here given example, I have to find the employee tax. The given data is employee ID, employee age, and employee salary, because this is the truth, because we have to build a system that automatically calculate the tax of employee, right? So this data is given. So now I have to calculate this tax, but require some procedure all the calculation. So this is the procedure knowledge, and the given data is used. That is called as the declarative knowledge. Okay. Now we go to the next slide. So in exam there are lots of this question asked, what is the difference between procedure knowledge and declarative knowledge? Okay. So first of all, what is procedure knowledge and declarative difference? So first difference is it is also known as a interpretive knowledge, and it is also known as a descriptive knowledge, as name suggests, right? Now the second point is procedure knowledge means how a particular thing can be accomplished. And the declarative knowledge is why declarative knowledge means basic knowledge about something. You have to solve a problem, so require some basic data. So this is called declarative knowledge. Third difference is procedure knowledge is generally not used, means it is not more popular, and declarative knowledge is more popular, right? Now fourth difference, procedure knowledge can't be easily communicated, because all the user have different process to solve their problem, right? So you can't communicate easily. And the declarative knowledge can be easily communicated, because all the process require same rules and same fact, so you can easily communicate. Now fifth difference, procedure knowledge is generally process oriented in nature, and declarative knowledge is data oriented in nature, right? because declarative knowledge is based on the information or related to your problem or related your facts of your problem. Now next is the procedure knowledge. Debugging and validation is not easy because in procedure knowledge all the user have different process, so there is no same issue in all the users, so there is no debugging and validation is easy. But in declarative knowledge, debugging and validation is easy. Now seventh is procedure knowledge is less effective in competitive programming and declarative knowledge is more effective in competitive programming. Okay, clear difference between procedure knowledge and declarative knowledge. Now we go to the next topic. All they have clear procedure knowledge and what is declarative knowledge and where it is used. Okay, now we go to the next topic, that is forward reasoning and backward reasoning. I have given already the idea of reasoning. So what is reasoning? Can anyone tell me what is reasoning?
It's mean chaining.
It's mean chaining, but what is the actual meaning of reasoning? Why require reasoning AI?
To get the answer.
Yes, we have to given
In a
our
logical way.
we have given our knowledge to our system, right? Now I have to require the action to perform or solve our problem. So reasoning is understand the logic and provide one such a action to solve your problem. So there are two types of reasoning, that is forward reasoning and backward reasoning. The next topic in your chapter is forward reasoning and backward reasoning. Okay, now start. There are two directions for searching, that is first is forward, from start or initial state to reach you have to go goal state, and in backward from goal state you have to reach to our initial state. Okay, there are two approaches to represent or solve your problem, that is forward reasoning and the backward reasoning. Now we go to the next slide, that is also the different name are used, that is forward chaining and backward chaining. Both are same, forward reasoning or forward chaining, and backward reasoning and backward chaining. Okay, these two terms are similar, but sometimes they use forward reasoning or sometimes they use forward chaining or forward reasoning, backward reasoning or backward chaining. Now we see one by one forward reasoning and backward reasoning. So how we can solve the problem using forward search or backward search. Now forward chaining is one of the two main method of reasoning. This is forward chaining is a popular implementation strategy for expert system, business and production rule system. The opposite of forward chaining is backward chaining. Okay. Now forward chaining start with the available data and uses inference rule to extract more data until a goal is reached. Means you have to start your problem solving with some initial fact or the data related to your problem. Then you have to reach one by one, solve your step by step you have to solve and reach to a goal state. Okay. Now forward chaining is a data driven method of deriving a particular goal from a given knowledge base and a set of inference rule. Inference rule are applied by matching fact to an statement of consequent relation in the knowledge base. Now what is inference rule? So inference rules are some data that is also helpful to solve your problem in forward chaining. Now the application of inference rule result in new knowledge which is then added to the knowledge base. Means you have solved traveling salesman problem more than one time, so you have get expertise or some expertise in this problem. So some expertise knowledge you also add in your problem, so that make easy to solve your problem. suppose we are taking expert advice, right? So why we require expert advice? So we can easily solve our problem and we can utilize our time and memory. So this also inference rule we add in our system, so which is then added to our knowledge base. Okay, so that given more knowledge to our system. Okay, inference rule is some type of data related to your problem. Now we go to the next topic, that is how we can solve forward chaining and how we can solve our problem using forward reasoning. Okay, in this diagram you can see that fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, fact 4, right? You have given one task, right, for some prediction of share market analysis. Here is your output. Now one by one you have to collect your data, that is past year data or some calculation required for share market prediction and some expertise, expert advice and all, right? You have collect in this layer, right? Fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, fact 4. Why we given fact to our system? Because human is take the decision based on our knowledge, but computer has no their own knowledge or own thinking. So we have to require to give the fact or the knowledge. So here in initial stage I give all the fact to our system. Now they process or take the action or perform any operation. Here I use and or operation. For example, you are calculate the prediction of previous year and all. Okay, for share market status analysis. Now you can come to this point that provide some result. Now you have to also process on this result and then you reach with the final output of your share market prediction. So this is the forward chaining, because we are starting from the initial data and we reach with our goal state or our, what is our goal? We have to predict the share market status. So starting with initial state, we are reached with our goal state. Okay. This is the forward chaining method. So start with initial fact, and this is the data driven method, because that process on basically the given data and then reach with the final state or the goal state. So it's called forward chaining and data driven method. Now we see in forward chaining, the system start from the set of fact and set of rule and try to find a way of using those rules and fact to deduce a conclusion or come up with a suitable course of action. So in forward chaining, we have to start our system with some fact and rule. Suppose you have given one task to reach with PP Samani to Surat, so some distance and some cost is required is given. This is called some fact. And I have given one rule, you have to use only bus, and some rules, that is in this particular time you have to go from Surat to PP Samani to Surat. So in initial condition, I given some set of fact and rules, okay, and try to find a way of using those rules and fact to deduce a conclusion, okay. Now starting with initial fact and rule, you have to reach our goal state, that is Surat. This is also known as a data driven reasoning, because the reasoning start from a set of data and end up at the goal, which is conclusion. Okay, now we see one example so you have more clear. Forward chaining mechanism. When applying forward chaining, the first step is to take the fact and fact database and see if the combination of this matches all the antecedents of one of the rule in the rule base. When all antecedents of a rule are matched by fact in the database, then this rule is triggered. So you have given fact and rule to our system, right, in database. Now one by one we have to explore all the rule, and when it is matched, then we have to trigger, and trigger means execute your rule. So usually when a rule is triggered, it is then fired. Means the 3 steps are there. First of all, you have given one rule, right? Now then you have to find the matching with your problem. So if the rule is matched with your problem, then you have to trigger, and when it is triggered, then it is fire. Means what is fire? Means your rule is executed or rule is matched with your problem. So you have to execute your rule in your problem, which means its conclusion is added to the fact database. So जो भी आपका सेंटेंस है और रूल है वो मैच हो गया, तो आपको क्या करना है, उसको डेटा सेट में ऐड कर देना है. If the conclusion of the rule that has fired is an action or recommendation, then the system may cause that action to take place or the recommendation to be made. Means आप स्टार्ट किया इनिशियल स्टेट से और आपके पास फैक्ट और रूल से, right? Now you have to check rule is matched, then rule is triggered and fired. Now you have to add this your rule in the knowledge base, because we are increase the size of our knowledge base, and then we take the decision from our knowledge base. Okay, now we check one example for weather forecasting system. Now I have to build a system based on the rule based system to predict our weather forecasting. Okay, weather forecasting system, the basic requirement for rule and fact, right? Now I have to solve a problem, weather forecasting system. Now I have to require rules and fact. So here I given the rule is rule 1, rule 2 and rule 3. The first rule is, if we suspect temperature is less than 20 degrees Celsius, then there is a humidity in the air, then there are chances of rain. Okay. Now rule 2, if sun is behind the cloud and air is very cool, then we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. Now rule number 3, if air is very heavy, then there is a humidity in the air. So these 3 rules given in our system, and I given the 2 fact. Okay, because in forward chaining the basic requirement of our system is rules and fact. So fact is, we have been given the following fact, that is sun is behind the cloud and the air is very heavy and cool. So this fact is given to our system in initial stage, and the fact some rule are given, that is rule 1, rule 2 and rule 3. So these 2 is our input. Now start the problem to solve. So what is the problem? Using forward chaining, try to conclude that there are chances of rain, because in our system they predict the weather. So we have to predict there are chances of rain or not. Okay. Now we start our problem. Up to now, anyone have problem? Anyone have doubt? Then you can ask me. Then we start the problem solving. All are understand?
Yes, ma'am, somewhat.
Okay, now we start with the rule number 1. Okay, here I given, this is the rule that I already write and explain, rule 1, rule 2 and rule 3. Now first pass. So one by one I start with prediction of our system. So here I in this table you can see that rule, status and working memory. So we have 2 fact, that is sun is behind the cloud and air is very heavy and cool. So this is fact given in initial state, and I also write some 3 rules that is given to our system, right? And what is status? If the rule is matched with working directory, then I can write true or fire our rule. So we can add our rule in working memory. Working memory is helpful to take our decision or solve our problem. And here the first column shows that one by one we have to add our rule. Okay. Now here rule number 1. You have to write rule in this first column. The first rule is, we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. Now the second rule is, there is humidity in the air. In second rule, the first is sun is behind the cloud. And the fourth is air is very cool. Okay. So here I write this rule in this first row, first column. Okay. Now I working directory, I given the two facts, that is sun is behind the cloud and air is very heavy and cool. So this is already given. So this write in mean a working directory, right? Now I check. Rule is matched with sun working memory or not. So here this sentence is not present in working directory. So I write unknown. Okay. Now here the first rule, second point is there is humidity in the air. So now I have to check, is it available in working directory? Because the working directory help to take our decision. Here is also not available. So here I write status unknown. Okay. Now the third step, sun is behind the cloud. Okay. So here I write sun is behind the cloud. Now I have to check in working directory. Sun is behind the cloud. Yes. The answer is yes or true. Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to add this rule in working directory. Okay. Now the second point of this rule, already one also statement in rule 2, that is air is very cool. So here I write, I have to check the air is very cool is available in this working directory. Yes. Now rule 2 is fire, because we have to check both the condition. Sun is behind the cloud and air is very cool. Then we can add our rule in our working directory. Then we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. Okay. Till now you have clear. One by one I have to add a rule. Then I have to check with working directory. If it is matched, then I have to fire. Okay. Now in second phase, this is the first pass. Now my working directory is changed because the one extra rule is added in our working directory. Because based on our rule base, we have checked. If it is matched, then we are writing true. And if it is matched, then we are fire the rule and we add in the working directory. Now in second pass, the rule working directory is changed because one more fact is added in our working directory. Okay. Now start with the first statement, that is we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. Okay. Second rule is there is humidity in the air. Okay. Now we start with the first rule. If it is matched with our working directory, yes, then true. Now check. There is humidity in the air. So it is not matched with our working directory. So I write unknown. Okay. Now I come to the third rule, that is air is very heavy. Why I not use rule number 2? Because already in our first pass it is matched with our system. So we have fired this rule. So that's why I not use this rule second time. Okay. Now the third rule is if air is very heavy. So here I write air is very heavy. Now I have to check in the working directory. So air is very heavy, already given. So true and fire my rule. So then what is the output? That is there is humidity in the air. So this fact is added in our working memory. Okay, clear? Now the third pass. Okay. Now first rule and the third rule is added in our working memory. Now the third pass, that is we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. Okay. Now I have to check the rule number 1. And then my working directory or working memory is changed because we have initial first two fact. Now we have proved the two fact and we are added in working directory. Right. Now start with the first rule. We suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. If it is available in working memory, yes. So I write true. And the second statement is there is humidity in the air. So it is also true. So I write true. Okay. Now we reach our goal state. There are chances of rain because our output is if we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree and there is a humidity in the air, then there are chances of rain. So we reach to our goal state. Okay. So what is our problem? That is, using forward chaining, try to conclude that there are chances of rain. So here we conclude that there are chances of rain. Clear? Anyone have doubt? Anyone have doubt? Okay. So starting with our initial fact, because in our forward chaining we have given two data, that is the rule and fact. So rule, I have given this rule because the system is predict data based on our given fact or a rule. What is fact and rule? Fact and rule are the basic or the truth data regarding your problem. So I given this rule in our system. Okay. Now the fact is sun is behind the cloud and air is very heavy and cool. Now I have to solve a problem, that is using forward chaining. Try to conclude that there are chance of rain. Okay. So here starting with the first rule. In first rule, the first point, second point, then in second rule, first point and second point. Okay. Now first pass. In first pass, I have given the two fact that is already given, that is sun is behind the cloud and the air is very heavy and cool. Now first rule is we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. So I have to check if it is available in working directory. If yes, then if I have to trigger or fire the rule. Otherwise you have to write unknown. Okay. Now second statement is there is humidity in the air. Now I have to check it is available or not. So this is not available. So that's why I write unknown. Now come to the second rule. Sun is behind the cloud. I have to check in the working directory. If it is available, yes. So I have to write true. Now the second condition, in rule number 2, the two condition, then it is executed. So I have to also check air is a very cool is available. So yes, it is available in the database, right? Or working memory. Now the true and the fire rule. So I add this rule in our working memory. So the what is our output? That is we suspect temperature is less than 20 degrees. Okay. Now the second pass. Now in second pass, already my second rule is come in our working memory. So I have to add only rule number 1 and rule number 3. So in rule number 1, the first rule is we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree. So I have to check in working memory. If it is available, then I have to write true. Now second point is there is a humidity in air. So is it available? No. So I have to write unknown. So we can't fire this rule because there is two rule in rule 1, but only one is satisfied. So here AND condition is there. So what is the operation of AND gate? If both are satisfied, then answer is true, right? So here I can't fire this rule. Now I check for the rule number 3. Why I not check rule number 2? Because already I have added this rule in our working directory. Okay. Now the third rule. That is air is a very heavy. Now I have to check in the memory. Is it available? Yes. Then rule is fire. Okay. Now this rule add in our working memory, that is there is a humidity in the air. Now in phase 3, our working memory is this. A, B, C, D rule already available in working memory. So I have to set as a working directory in the third phase. Now I have to start with rule number 1 because rule number 2 and 3 added in the working memory. Now first rule is we suspect temperature is less than 20 degree, right? So is it available? So true. And I have to check there is a humidity in the air. Yes, it is available. So I have to write true. Now what is your output? Means there are chances of rain. Okay. Now we have to predict that there are chances of rain. So yes. Okay. This is our output of forward chaining, and we can predict the future, or we can predict the chances of rain. Okay. Now in next lecture we see the how we can use the backward chaining because you confuse in two things. So only in today's lecture we come to this point. We covered these three topics, that is procedure versus declarative knowledge and forward reasoning. In next lecture we see one example of backward reasoning. So in only this example for whether for a casting, so you have clear. Okay.